Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
Hello everybody and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. on the broadcast tonight. It is the Sim500 TranService Truck Series from Daytona International Speedway. In the broadcast booth with me, my one and only co-host for most of my Wednesday night ventures, Mr. Gary Wells. Gary, take it away.
Yeah, it's great to be up here in the booth with you tonight, AJ, as well as Mike Campigio. We'll speak from him in just a moment, but great to be here at Daytona. Another new start to another new series here with Sim500. Well, new to us, not new to iRacing. But yeah, just really excited here tonight. I think we're going to have a really good show.
Yeah, I think tonight's show is going to be very fun, very entertaining. As let's bring up Mr. Mike Campigio. Mike, how you doing, pal? First time seeing these trucks go around the track when you're not in one. What's it like being up in a broadcast booth?
Oh, guys, I'm super excited to be here tonight with you and Gary. I'm looking forward to this brand new league, brand new season. First time myself seeing these guys race, so I'm all for it. Daytona's a special place. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen and will happen. As Tyler Dalton right now on lone qualifying of 52.29, he's going to share that with Shannon Wood. So with qualifying, we know as seeing plate racing, truck series racing, Xfinity series racing, it doesn't matter where you start. Does it help being out front? Absolutely, but we've seen people come from the back straight to the front. It's just, we got 100 laps around this 2.5 mile speedway, but real fast as we have qualifying going on in the background. Gary, let's talk about past winners here.
Yeah, they've had 9 races here in Sim500 here at Daytona, and they have had 9 different winners. So tonight, are we going to see them go 10 for 10? Will we see another repeat winner? We have seen a repeat winner in polls with Tyler Dalton. He's already got 2. Looks like he's about to get his 3rd. But as far as those wins tonight, man, we've seen him come from 22nd. Malik Ray did that back in 2017 for his win. We've seen people start, from the pole and win this thing. So, like Mike said, we could see anybody, literally anybody win this thing. And yes, you are seeing 2 current Coke drivers on this very list here with the all-time stats.
Yeah, let's see if we can get another person added to this list, as Rick Swafley has followed All-Star 15 TV on Facebook. That graphic made by Joe Hutchings of Hutch Sport Racing. Appreciate it there, pal. Give you that little plug there, Rick. There it is, right on your screen. But we got a lot to do tonight. Right now, qualifying still going on. The number 5 of Chris Sakla, 52.38. That's going to be 22nd best. John Fowler needs to improve going into turn 3 of his second lap. A 52.45.
Yeah, Mike,
everybody's
tell us
hitting
about
that.
Qualifying at Daytona. I know it's wide open and turn left, but sometimes it could be a little bit more than that. What do you try to do for qualifying here at Daytona?
Well, what I like to do personally is that first out lap that you go out, you really want to gain all the momentum you can. So you kind of want to run the top line that first lap, and then as you start your final lap, you want to start migrating to the bottom, so you can really get the amount of speed that you want to get the perfect time when you cross that finish line for that second lap.
Well, we got a quick, I would say, minute warm-up, 30 seconds left. I think this gives everybody a chance to grab a drink, maybe use the bathroom one last time. But we have 100 laps around the World Center of Racing Daytona Super Speedway. Gary, what are you expecting? Because when you're done with that, we're going to go into our picks for the evening.
Well, I look at it this way. There are 3 keys to win here tonight. 1, avoid the big one. 2, you want to practice some give and take. You're probably wondering, what do you mean by that on a super speedway? You just go fast and turn left. Well, sometimes you'll make a block on lap 99 or 100 that you wouldn't make on lap 9. So you can't win the race on lap 9, but you could certainly lose it there. So practice some give and take. And then number 3, and the most important thing, maintaining your track position late in this race. You got to stay up front in order to win.
Yeah, you definitely got to stay up front. Well, for the race, each driver has 3 sets of tires in the pit, so there's going to be 2 green, white, checkered attempts. And the fuel window, we're looking at a 30 to 35 laps on fuel. Now, Gary, we'll start with you. Who's your pick tonight?
My pick is going to be that number 5 of Chris Scala. I think he's going to come from 22nd and win this thing.
Mike, who you got, pal?
I'm actually going to go with the number 51 of Justin Fuller, and Justin Fuller is actually the defending series champion, so I want to see if he can kick off his title defense with a win.
And I'm looking for the number 19 of Tyler Dalton, starting P2 this evening. Another driver who's got multiple poles here, but let's run through the field. I'm going to take the first 10, Gary. You can take 11 through 20, and Mike, you can take 21 through 30. So, first off, it's Tommy Ryan winning the pole here for the TranService Truck Series. Tyler Dalton in second. Shannon Wood in third. Jeff Ryan in fourth. Justin Fuller in fifth. Sixth, it's Robert Furry. In seventh, Randy Yolcomb. Brian Macklin in eighth. Ninth, it's Glenn Campbell. 10th, it's Chad Coleman.
All right. In 11th, we have the 41 of E.J. O'Rourke. I hope I pronounced that right. 12th place is Kevin D. Brown. 13th is Joey Gattina. 14th place is going to be Steve Ritter. 15th is going to be Joe Hudson. 16th is going to be Mike Montesi. 17th is going to be Kevin England. 18th is Stoney Benfield. 19th is Trey Eidson, the defending winner of this race from a season ago. And rounding out your top 20 is going to be Eric Arnold.
In 21st, we have Richard Swarvey. In 22nd, we have Chris Salaka. In 23rd, we have Kyle S. Merkin. In 24th, we have Josh Coley. In 25th, we have Kevin Stone. In 26th, we have J. Randall Watkins. In 27th, we have Scott Simile. In 28th, we have Kayla Sheffers. In 29th, we have Wesley Donaldson. And in 30th is Zach Roethlisberger.
All right, everybody. Pace car is about to duck for cover down pit road. It's time to get this Sim500 season started, and we are green here at Daytona. Tommy Ryan with a great start off the green flag. That's going to allow Tyler Dalton to slot in right behind him. That inside lane already looking pretty good.
Yeah, and you're going to see that 19 go back up to the outside just to get behind a little bit of draft. Going to do a little bit of side drafting there and try to get this lead off of turn number 2.
Here they come down the backstretch. Mike, what are you seeing so far?
Well, so far, it looks like everybody's taking their time, using some patience. It's a long race tonight, and hopefully we'll see a lot of patience out of these guys tonight.
Flying into turn 3, still side by side. We're going to see this most of the evening tonight. That outside lane trying to get a groove going. As here they come. Here's the 19 of Tyler Dalton looking to the outside and will lead lap 1.
We've seen time and again where Tyler Dalton is pretty good at these plate tracks. Leading here at Daytona early, but you know, I believe he's got a win here. He's definitely qualified really well. So we'll see if that can translate into hopefully a win for him here at Daytona.
Already looking for that third line to that outside. You had E.J. O'Rourke, and there goes Tyler Dalton again. The number 3 of Jeff Ryan pushing through that middle with some help with Randy Yolcomb.
And as quickly as we saw that third line form, guys, all of a sudden that third line has just disappeared now, just to the 2 trucks on that outside line.
They might have disappeared, but they're still moving pretty good with E.J. O'Rourke, and now they're coming with the cavalry behind them.
Yeah, coming with the cavalry behind them, and we're starting to see already this field split up into 2 different packs. It looks like approximately the first top 30 trucks are in one pack, and then everybody else is kind of split up into a second pack, a third pack a little bit here as well. So A lot of different strategies early on here at this race, but everybody's still within the same screen.
Looked like we just had you guys just dropped to the back to say, you know what, I don't want to be up in this mess right now. I'm going to go to the back.
Hey, we're going to take a look at that
Rewind
back.
at 180 miles an hour. You just think to yourself, do I want to do this on lap 3 or should I just let these guys race?
Yeah, those top 8 cars are under a blanket.
It's a recipe for an 8 truck wreck.
Well, it is. And Gary, you mentioned it earlier. This league is very good with keeping that green flag out. So while it might look sketchy to us and sketchy to everybody at home, we got professionals in these race trucks.
Yeah, we really do. We got a lot of good guys in here. Like we mentioned, a couple of Coke guys in here. A couple of Coke guys have won, and you know, a lot of talent all up and down through this field of 42 trucks.
Everybody following the mill right now, going into turn 3. We're going to drop a little bit further back. Got to go all the way back to 11th for Chad Coleman. You know, he's the first driver a second back, but then you see I think that's the 27 of Randall Watkins. You know, he's the first car outside of that lead pack to go side by side, and he's got the 49 right behind him, Kayla Steffi's.
Yeah, you were talking about Chad Coleman there. He won this race here in 2018, so he knows how to win here at Daytona. I think he's kind of like what we're seeing here. Just kind of take it easy here a little bit. It's only lap 5. Let me get into a little bit of a groove here and make my way up later on in this race.
Yeah, look at that. We're going to go from that blimp cam, and you're going to see how big this train of cars is. There's Jeff Ryan in first, and we're going to jump to about mid-pack. Here's John Fowler. And then you go back even further, clicking on Zach Roethlisberger. You know, there is a train of cars, and it seems like so far everybody still has the draft, still having, you know, a chance to get grouped together and get going, but I think for the most part, everybody is just okay with riding around, logging laps, and making it to that finish. As we're saying that, you see the 3 of Ryan get loose up front.
Yeah, able to keep it straight though, and you know he's definitely seemed to be early on one of the front runners here. Looks like we got a couple of cars lagging back. The 5 of Chris Scala and the 74 of Brian Workman. They're just kind of taking their time. It looks like Brian, if he's not careful, might lose the draft here early on. But long race here. We got 100 laps, 250 miles. Going to be key, especially if this thing goes green. You want to stay within the lead pack for sure.
Yeah, taking a look at everything. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, welcome to All-Star 15 TV. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, or follow the channel if you're on Facebook. We'll be broadcasting the Sim500 TranService Truck Series every Wednesday night. We are off next week to celebrate Memorial Day, as at least I will be indulging myself in daddy sodas. But other than that, I know it's early on in the race, and I know how patriotic the people up in this booth are. Do not forget what Memorial Day means.
America.
What it's for.
Yeah, it is for our fallen heroes who have fought for this great country and died for our rights.
Absolutely.
A lot of respect for all those guys, too.
It allows us to come out every Wednesday night and put on a pretty good show for you guys, but it's very easy when you have drivers that keep that green flag in the air, as we are getting even more jam-packed up front as we are side by side all the way to about 20th position.
Yeah, and this is where we're going to really start to see that rubber band got stretched out pretty good those last 3 or 4 laps, and now that rubber band is starting to come back together. The first top 20-ish trucks or so, now they're all back into a 2x2 file here.
Well, we're going to jump on the number 6 of Mike Mondesi. You know, looking at his truck, you really can't see much. You know, you can see the couple cars on the inside. But I like what he's doing. He's not right up the 27's bumper of Watkins. You know, he's giving himself a little bit of brake room. Like if there's a checkup, he doesn't have to slam on the brakes and then possibly get run into. He's kind of managing the gap. And I think that's a very smart move, and we're seeing that with a lot of drivers. As you see the 48 to his outside do the exact same thing of John Fowler.
These guys are just maintaining their gap, like you said, and just maintaining that focus. I mean, you have to do this for 100 laps. This league doesn't go cautions very often, so you really got to make sure that you maintain your gaps and keep your nose clean, because even a little bit of a bump here, we've noticed with these trucks, even a crinkle of a fender, that's going to ruin your aerodynamics here, and that's going to be really, really important at a track like Daytona.
Yeah, it is very important. As they're flying down the backstretch, Tyler Dalton has fallen back about 7 positions, currently sitting in 9th. But let's talk about the big movers of the race so far. You have Trey Epson all the way from 19th to 4th. From 28th to 10th, you have Michaela Steffies. Again, I'm apologizing if I screw anybody's names up. We'll get better throughout the season goes with names. John Fowler is going to jump another position from 32nd to 11th. And then Robert Tucker in 13th, up 21 positions. So you can make some moves and you can really push the envelope, but it's how you do it.
Yeah, and
It's
knowing
how you
when
make
to do
those
it,
passes.
and that's the thing with the draft too. You gotta, when you have that run, you gotta know when to go, why to go, and where to go. That's how Tony Stewart kind of put it one time, and it just makes absolute sense. When you get that run, you gotta know, is it that time of the race to go ahead and experiment and take it? Early on, sure, as we see a truck come near to the outside, peeking his way up, seeing if an outside lane is working all by himself. We're starting to see everybody kind of move around a little bit at this point in the run. We're about halfway through a fuel run here, so these guys are just trying to see what their trucks can do in traffic, and he did look like he was able to make a pass right there on that outside.
Yeah, he did. That's Kevin DeBrown making a move to the outside. It looks like he's going to try it again. He's going to put it 3 wide.
And you could really use the side draft here really well. Mike knows this. To work it out to your advantage, you could take it 3 wide by yourself. You can lead a line up there a little while by yourself. All you got to do is just side draft that truck next to you.
That is very true, and you got to be real aggressive with your side drafting nowadays, Gary. Especially with these trucks and even the Xfinity and Cup cars, you have to be as aggressive as you can to make that side draft work, or allow you to get ahead of that person to break up the line that they're in.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing a pretty decent job of that already. Not a whole lot of help, but he's able to get down to that 8 truck, pull him back a little bit, take that air off his spoiler a little bit. That will make him tight, but you really don't feel a whole lot of the handling here. Once you get to about this point in the run, you feel it a little bit, but at Daytona, you're pretty much wide open here still. This place was repaved back in 2011, so
And
very
he's going to
still
go straight
fairly
to
new
the
out.
lead.
Oh, wow, that was close.
What a move.
What a move, and I'm only saying what a move because it worked.
And I guarantee you, if he tried that on lap 100, he would get spun.
Absolutely. I don't think the 3 of Jeff Ryan would have
I don't think he would have
taken to that very nicely.
No, absolutely
Not one bit at all. Gatlin Downey, I passed your message along to the league owner, but he is in the car right now. And where's Joey Gattina running? Currently in 7th. Right in that number 14, right on the inside. EJ O'Rourke goes to the middle. But that bottom lane looks the place to be.
Yeah, and it will be here for a little while. You could get a middle to an outside lane going here at Daytona, but you really have to have the numbers. And this is one of those tracks where it's just strength the numbers. The dominant lane is going to be where the most vehicles are. And it looks like right now, Bomb's place to be.
Yeah, that outside lane gets consistent run after consistent run, but then they ditch the outside lane. And so that's why I think, you know, you're just going to run out of drivers and we're just going to go in single file. But I feel like we're just going to keep recycling the couple drivers because they don't want to ride right behind somebody.
I am one of those people.
Are you?
When I'm in the truck early on in a race like
there
this,
goes the 51.
he's gonna try that outside lane. Our defending champ over the outside.
Justin Fuller with a move.
And he does have a win here. He did win here last fall. He won the regular season finale. So they did go to Daytona twice last season, and he did win that second race. Only an 80 lapper though, as opposed to the 100. So 20 laps may not sound like a whole lot of a difference, but it definitely does make a difference.
Yeah, a lot of stuff can happen in 20 laps. Just ask Mike.
Oh yes, a lot of things can happen in 20 laps, and sometimes you feel like those 20 laps will take you 2 hours to finish.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, we're seeing these guys, we're 16 laps into this thing, we're still too wide, but it's not really all that chaotic. We've had our moments, especially with the 93 of Kevin D. Brown making a power to the lead. But other than that, I mean, it's been pretty calm here. 3 wide at times, but these guys are racing really well today. Thanks,
Jumping
Rob,
on with Tyler Dalton. Rob Niedermeyer, thanks for liking, pal.
I'll say one thing early on, though, that third lane, if they can get a few trucks up there, that third lane has been very, very impressive. A couple of those guys take the lead from that third lane.
Yeah, we've seen it done a little bit here. I think right now, if you could make the third lane work, kudos to you, but I think everybody's just wanting to keep it to the bottom to the middle. But I think a lot of people, the reason why we saw that 3 wide there early on within the first 10 laps, I think people just wanted to see what can this do and how can this help me.
Let's go back a little further. 16th place, Mike Mondesi. Still using that outside, trying to make the pass on the 17 of Kevin Stone. But let's shine some of the guys back here. We got Kevin Stone in 16th, Randall Watkins in 17th, 18th. We got Doug Roth. Brian Macklin in 19th, Kyle Merklin in 20th, and Josh Cully in 21st. You know, as we're getting spread out a little bit there, Wesley Donaldson in the 91, stuck on that inside, right where he probably wants to be. But, you know, like I said earlier, mind the gap. You know, checkups happen, especially in these stock cars. And
oh, we got trouble! Oh, what a save! In turn 1.
Who was it?
Getting the number real quick. Hold on.
That looked insane. We're going to try to get back to it.
Oh, it was a 25.
Thank you. I was just getting
Robert
it was
Tucker.
Robert Tucker made a huge save right there.
See if we can get a good view of it on the replay just as they pass the line heading towards turn 1.
Yeah, look like
See what we got.
49
Oh, he gets
kinda come up
loose.
there a little bit.
Wow.
A little bit of
Yeah.
door check right there between the 49 and the 25.
Got a
Nice
little bit
save.
of left side damage on that truck, but I'll take that over a wrecked race car and no fast repair.
That is very true. He made a marvelous save there. He's back in the inside lane and still digging, and he's right behind a guy that he door checked. Well, door checked him, but look at the 30 here, getting a massive run through the middle here. He's going to get a big run here up on this 7 truck. And when you're in the middle like this at Daytona, old Daytona it was way too sketchy to do this. But new Daytona, since it's so smooth now, you can really use this middle lane to your advantage.
Look at the line of cars to the inside. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Watching
when you
that
get
from...
the draft off of those inside and outside trucks, it can really propel you to the front.
We're still seeing Tyler Dalton look to that outside, and as I say that, he's going to cut down to that middle lane.
He was thinking about it. And some of the time too, as well, guys. We don't really think about much. You got to keep your temps in check here as well. You don't want to get that engine too hot, even though you may not blow it up. If you get it too hot, you can damage that that engine underneath the hood, and that will cause you to lose horsepower, and especially with these engines as heavily restricted as they are.
Now
we got the 49 in trouble.
There goes the 32.
Oh, don't hit that inside wall.
Like the 30 and the 49 there. Let's take a look at what happened there, dude.
Oh, he tagged that inside wall just barely.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of netco between them two trucks, but it looks like they might have hit anyway. At least with the 30 tapping that inside fence. It was the rear end and not the front end of the truck.
Oh, there it goes. They didn't hit it that hard, too. Oh, never mind. Doesn't look too bad damage-wise.
No, as long as he's floating at 1180 RPMs, he's good to go.
But that's going to break up the pack just a little bit.
It is going to break up that pack a little bit, and it really screwed that 30 over. I mean, he's last of the last.
Yeah, he's going to be lapped within a couple laps.
Seems like these guys up front have really started to get a little bit more aggressive with the racing.
Well,
yeah, we're not even at the first pit stop here.
Well, here's the thing, Gary and Mike. Pit stop's coming. Of course you're going to get aggressive because you're number one, going to have to make it to the inside. And you'd rather do that in front of everybody than...
Oh,
we got three car.
Yeah, Frank.
Trucks.
Bunch of trucks here.
Oh, is this the big guy?
This is what we were talking about.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked like maybe the 3 tried to clear himself. We'll have to get another angle at that. Oh, it looked like the O2. We'll take a look at the replay here. It looked like maybe the O2 kind of come up a little bit, maybe?
Back it up just a little bit more. Here it is. We're going to do it full speed.
I don't know. Maybe they were just going for the same spot at the same time, gentlemen. That's the best thing I could think of there.
That's what it looked like to me. It looked like they were going on the same piece of track right there, going into 3. A lot of guys did a good job slamming on those brakes.
Yeah, they sure did. And we're already a quarter of the way through this race, guys. So, pit strategy, I think, is going to be easy on this first stop. Caution flag stop. We're going to see a lot of guys. They're going to come in. Obviously, they're going to take their fuel. If it was me, I would be giving my driver 4 tires. Because that does help you a little bit with the handling here. Not by much, but it just gives your driver a little bit more grip. So they could be a little more aggressive if they want.
So we're going to jump on board with the 19 of Tyler Dalton through that wreck. So I'm pretty sure he misses it. Well, never mind.
It's a little damage.
Yeah, a little.
Might be fixable.
Probably a little front end damage on that.
Well, and that did help the 30 truck. So he's in good shape, still on the lead lap. The 48 is on pit road. He's already a lap down. He was involved in that incident. But yeah, that really saved the 30 truck there.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he's going to come down pit road and repair all of his damage. Race off pit road here. The 99 is going to win it handedly. And it's going to be the 93 of Kevin D. Brown in second off pit road here.
Well, I think the first car off of pit road was Robert Tucker, TJ. Wow. That's my Monday night crew. Gary.
Yeah, I wonder, did he...
He did pit.
He did pit? Maybe he just took...
Oh, no, he did not. He did not stop, but he was on pit road.
There, which happens. Well, that makes sense why you would gain, you know, a lot of spots there. 8 spots on pit road. I think Mike and I can both safely say, maybe even you too, AJ, for the few times that you drive, I think we've all forgotten our pit stall a time or two.
Or overshot it.
Or if somebody forgets to hit stop spotting and I'm like, where's my box? It's not counting me down.
Yeah, that's a nice new feature that iRacing's had, and we relied on it very, very quickly.
Yes, that is 100% true. But it looks like 25 is going to come in now to service that. Honestly,
Not the worst thing, you know. I mean,
No.
you're going to be last on the grid here, right? But I mean, at the end of the day, you come in here, you got no pressure, you don't got to remember where your box is. You just come in, get your 4, and get out, and you know you get to stay out of harm's way a little bit.
So depending on the size of the field, I've even done that where I'd rather not pit with the 40 cars on the racetrack, and I was like, yeah, you guys can go mess up on pit road if you guys get together. I'm gonna miss all that.
Right. Well, and the thing is too, he gets to come in here and top off. And it looks like quite a few guys have come in here to top off as well. The 11, I saw quite a few guys there actually have come in to top off their fuel tanks.
So let's go through everybody's picks, Gary. Who are they? Who picked them? And let's figure out where they're sitting.
Well, you picked Tyler Dalton. He's sitting in 5th. I picked Mr. Chris Scala. He is in, I don't even know where he's at on track.
31st.
26th. 21st?
31st.
Okay. 31st. Beautiful. And Campigio here, Mikey, he picked Justin Fuller.
In 26th.
Beautiful.
Still
So you're sitting pretty.
Yeah, right now, yes.
For
yes.
now. Quarter of
As
the way
we
in this
know that can 100% change.
Absolutely.
But everybody at home, who you guys picking? Who you rooting for? Thanks for tuning in to All-Star 15 TV. The lights are off on the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. And we're just about 30 seconds away from putting this back under green conditions. I love this
Car
chat
off to the
feature.
safety of pit road.
And here we go. Barney the Flagman throwing out his arm. And we are green once again at Daytona International Speedway.
Yeah, you look at this outside lane, the 93 and a 7, they got a really good push together on that outside lane. For the 99 and the 43 did not get a good hookup on that starter. So far, they're pretty even through 1 and 2, but I think that outside line might prevail a little bit as the exit. Kevin getting a big push there from Trey. I think we're going to start to see these guys calm down a little bit. They had that wreck there at lap 24. Definitely going to be a lot more relaxed, I think.
Yeah, you say that. I don't see that.
Yeah, and I'm kind of anxious to see if Kevin he's going to go right down to the bottom, just like I thought he would.
It seems like everybody
pushes him all the way to the front, and he just leaves him out hanging.
It seems like basically everybody wants to use that middle lane or the outside lane to get to P1 and then immediately drop to that inside.
It's kind of like the opposite of the highway. The outside lane's kind of like that express lane, and you want to get to the fast lane, and then you just want to lead the pack. And then once you do that, you just boop, right back down to the bottom lane. And we might see Trey, we might see him try to maybe work both lanes a little bit. Probably not much this early on in the race, but that'll be something to keep an eye on late as we see the 93 making a move now.
Yeah, E.J. O'Rourke has been doing a great job pushing people.
He's been a great pusher. That's for sure. I would want that guy pushing me to the win. I'll be sure to give him a beer afterwards.
I thought he was about to push the 93 so far ahead, he was going to be able to drop down.
I think that's what he was trying to do. That was his intent. But now it's going to be interesting to see as he's leading that line. Is he a good leader as well? He's got that 19 of Tyler Dalton there with him. Going to be interesting to see if he's a good pusher as well. And we know he's fast. He qualified second.
Yeah, but solo runs are completely different than running in a pack. As you see the number 2 of Mike Kelly look to that outside in that Toyota
Looked like he
Tundra.
might straight the wall even too, going all the way to the outside. But
yeah, it looked like it, but I didn't want to say it.
his truck is still looking good. But yeah, I mean, really, the only thing that tells us, AJ, with those single qualifying times, one, you can hold a pretty wheel. You can hold your line really straight. And number two, you know how to mash the gas and make your truck go fast. And even though, yeah, you are in a pack and there is a little bit of finesse, but at the end of the day, if you're a fast truck, other people are going to want to work with you. At least to have you push them to victory lane.
Yeah. Here comes the 51. Holy cow, he's flying on that outside.
Yeah, he's going to have a big run here. He's probably going about 185, 190. He'll look like he has about a few extra horsepower.
Yeah,
able
he
to
checked
check up there
big
a
time
little bit. Had to
as
check
the
up there
number
at 23.
3 it hit the eject button, it looked like. Because he's on that inside getting out of everybody's way.
Yeah, he was the one involved in that first caution, unfortunately.
But everybody so far still minding their P's and Q's on this second run. Just 30 laps in. Kevin DeBrown in the 93 on the inside. The 7 of Trey Edison actually will lead that lap. He's up 18 positions, started 19th, and it only took him 30 laps to get to the front.
Yeah, he's been pretty quick. He's actually the defending winner of this race from a season ago, so definitely going to be one to watch, that's for sure, further into this race. And it just goes to show, too, AJ, qualifying doesn't really matter here. As long as you are in a position late within the last 5-10 laps, if you're in that top 10, you can name all 10 drivers. They all got a shot.
Yeah, you know what really helps, and I think you put this in my head about a month ago, having an actual human spotter, I think it's so valuable to have that immediate back and forth, like go high, go low, go high, stay there, brake.
Well, yes, absolutely. And also, too, I mean, as a human spotter, the AI on this doesn't really point out to you what lane is the best to go into. It just kind of calls you high, low, and wrecking in front of you. That's about it. Where with the human spotter, it can tell you where to go and how to avoid that wreck, but also, too, what lane is getting the best run. As we're seeing these guys real tight here. We got EJ O'Rourke leading that outside lane now. He's getting a push from that 19, and I think he's going to lead this lap.
He's going to lead this lap, but he's not going to have enough room to cut down in front of Trey.
He's going to try. He did it. And that's the thing, too. We may not think there's a whole lot of room, and that's just one of those things where if you're a spotter on this simulator, or even if you have an extra pair of eyes in the sky, if they call you clear, no questions asked. You go for it.
Because then if you get clipped, you blame him.
We're going to see a lot of that happening late in this race, and that's where we might see some of those bad blocks or late moves down to the inside. And you have to be very decisive with that. Mike would know that. You got to be decisive. You can't just be all willy-nilly and lazy. You see a move, you got to take it, and you got to be very precise with that steering wheel.
Oh, yeah. You have to, especially late in the race. And if you know you have a run or you know you have a block, you're going to do it, you got to do it quick. Because if you think about it for 1 or 2 seconds, you're either going to get wrecked or you're going to have a cause of caution. And then even speaking with that spotter thing, with the iRacing one, sometimes the iRacing spotter will not even tell you sometimes if you're clear or if there's a car or truck to your outside. And then that will cause an issue too. So I think also having a human spotter eliminates that factor too, because you can trust your human spotter and be like, okay, I got a car outside of me, perfect, cool, I know where it's at, you know?
And you know the sketchiest thing ever on the sim? The AI spotter is not programmed to tell you when you're 4 wide. So if you're 4 wide, you kind of just gotta go by instinct and feel and take a guess, where it only calls you up to 3 wide on iRacing. So if you're 4 wide, good luck. And that will happen a lot at Talladega more so. Not so much here. They can go 4 wide, but it's not recommended.
No, there is significantly more room at Talladega than here at Daytona. But I don't think they really care right now. I think they're just putting these race trucks wherever they want to put these race trucks, and they're playing leapfrog right now. And it is absolutely a sight to see, because here comes the 51 last season's champion, currently running in fourth now, trying to get towards that front and then probably cut right in front of Tyler Dalton.
Absolutely. And, you know, you're talking about this leapfrog thing. I want to talk about some of the changes that we've had here in the past. The 2021 season opener, so from a couple of seasons ago, they had a total of 54 lead changes, and that opener was 100 laps as well. So Daytona has proven you can average anywhere from 20 to 30 or 40 lead changes. I'm seeing another race here with 41, another race here with 33. So it's definitely possible. Another race here with 35. Very possible that these guys can hit that number by the end of the night tonight.
Oh, 100%. And just by seeing what we've had on track so far, Gary, Mike, this is going to be a fun season, especially going to Auto Club next week. But we still have just about 60 laps to go. You know, we're clicking them off pretty fast here tonight. But we're going to have pit stops in just about another 15 to 20 laps. As look at this outside, Fuller just about by a nose, but here comes O'Rourke pushing Dalton. This is actually the battle on the racetrack. You know, there's 40 other drivers that will try to run through as much as possible. But this is the battle on the racetrack that you're going to want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to give a shout out to one of our biggest movers so far, Mike Kelly. Started 39th up to 13th. Charles Van Schaik. Probably wrong, but that's okay. He's in the 23, started 38th all the way up to that 15th spot. So a lot of big movers today. That just goes to show the product of Daytona. Even Charles Woods here in the 40 truck
started 40th
and is up to 6th.
And I do like what he's got on that car, the Purple Heart Homes.
Yeah, that's a really cool tribute for this Memorial Day weekend. A lot of good-looking paint schemes throughout the field that have this as well. Some patriotic colors. The 74, Brian Wertman, he hasn't been up front much, but he's back here in 35th. Biden this time, he's got a really cool red, white, and blue paint scheme.
Yeah, he's got a couple cars with him, but really in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, really in the middle of nowhere. They really took we want to avoid the wreck as much as we can. And they're actually about to get lapped if they don't start getting grouped together and picking up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, 'cause I'm pretty sure our leaders might be able to see them. Not yet.
Not quite. We could see them, though, from our point.
Now, for all our viewers at home, Mike, you know, you've led a lot of laps here at Daytona. As a driver, using that term, Gary, wink, wink, how hard is it to not psych yourself out of being the leader? Because I feel like you're looking out the windshield, looking at the mirror, windshield, mirror, windshield, mirror. Like, how do you keep your mind from not draining from the back and forth?
I think it's just a lot of it has to do. Personally, I try not to think of that way, just because if I'm in the lead, I want to stay focused on who's in my mirror, who's pushing me, and just keeping an eye on how the momentum is coming from maybe 2-3 trucks back, either in the outside line or the inside line, just so I'm constantly thinking about, okay, where's the run coming? What am I going to have to block? Am I going to get a good push from the inside line? Do I want to jump up and get into the outside line because they have a better push coming? I think it's just mentally telling yourself you got to stay in it in the moment and just staying focused on everything that's going on, because everything is just ever so changing every single lap here at Daytona.
Well, and, you know, I spotted AJ a couple of months ago.
3 wide P1.
Yeah, 3 wide for first here. As we're seeing that unfold, I spotted AJ at Talladega a few weeks ago. And there are times, AJ knows this from the unfortunate end of the stick, where you know, you're just riding along, but you're also looking in your mirror a lot as much as you're looking out the windshield, if not more so here. And you know, in a race at Talladega, AJ got spun out because the guy behind him was looking in his mirror instead of paying attention to what was in front of him. So there are even times where we'll see that here with some of these guys and how some of these wrecks are caused, is because they're so focused on looking in the mirror to make sure, okay, and like Mike was saying, when do I go here? Should I go to the outside? Should I stay right here? Those kind of things. Because what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to get into the most organized line and stay there in the moment. It's all about being in the moment in places like Daytona and Talladega.
I got to give a huge shout out to the 43 of Doug Roth. He has nobody helping him, and he is holding serve on that outside lane, using that truck side drafting. He is a champ at side drafting and putting on a clinic.
Yeah, he's doing a really excellent job here. This might fall apart for him a little bit. You need at least one truck behind you, and I think this is when he might start to fade just a hair. And really, Mike, you know this as well. When you're in a position like the 43 is right here, if you fall back to the back, it's not the end of the world. You could just sit there and regroup, especially at this point in the race. Now, if we were maybe 10 or 15 to go, that's when you might panic a little bit when you're all by yourself in the third lane.
Yeah, and you'll be up in the third lane. You'll be like, come on, guys, somebody jump up with me. It's like, I can make this outside line work. I'm side drafting my butt off, and it's like, I'm making progress. I just need somebody to come with me. It'd be like the Dale Jr. Pied Piper effect. Like, somebody, come with me. Let's make this work.
Yeah, we kind of seen that throughout the years here, especially on iRacing, where you think you got it, you think you got the speed to do something and pull out in front of somebody, and nothing happens because nobody went with you, and that's kind of one of the more frustrating things. The trucks, not so much, because they do have a little bit of tape, a little bit of downforce to take momentum and that kind of thing. But in these Xfinity cars, they took all the tape off on the fixed setups at places like Daytona and Talladega, to where you pull out in front of somebody to try to make a move to the outside, you just hit a wall of air, and you just feel like you just lost 30 miles.
Yeah, you just throw out the parachute.
But look at Doug right here, man. He's working that 43 truck really well. I mean, I thought he was going to fall back here, but he did
right for a half a lap. He did for just about a half a lap.
But that even tells
now
you
he's going to fall in line right here. There he goes. Third to the outside lane.
And that's what... Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say real quick, that shows you how strong his truck is on speed today, too. If he can hold himself like that up there.
And we got pit stop starting.
Yeah,
Charles on pit road, Mike Kelly.
Yep, Mike Kelly. Big group of... Not a big group, but decent little group of trucks here.
You know, Gary, quickly as we'll talk about green flag pit stop starting, you know how we always see in real life that some of these guys come in pit road for the first time on green flag pit stop, we always see one or two guys either spin on, come on the pit road, or get caught speeding. So I'm really interested to see how these guys do this.
Yeah, because you would think, being at Daytona, you don't have a whole lot of wheel hop like you would at a road course, but you mistime a shift or don't get on the brakes quite right. You wheel hop the truck here, and once you wheel hop the truck here, especially on the apron at Daytona, you're just along for the ride. And it doesn't help that you're also on hot tires as well. They may not be worn out per se, but once these tires get a little bit of heat in them, you don't use the brake a whole lot here. Hot tires to cold brakes, not always the greatest combination.
And I only think you're really going to take tires if you have pit stops under a caution. Other than that, I think you're staying on these same Goodyear Eagles the rest of the way.
Yeah, pretty much. Or we might see some guys take two, because the time for them to fill up their tank completely and taking two tires is about the same amount of time versus not taking tires. So it really just depends on what that driver wants to do and how they feel, and just go on from there.
So this is going to be really interesting. Our front group is just about to catch the cars that came into pit about 2 or 3 laps ago.
Yeah, they aren't the biggest group. They only got about 4 or 5 versus 30. So definitely going to be something to watch here over these next few laps.
One of them's starting to run side by side up there too in front of these leaders too. That's going to cause some hairy situations here.
Yeah, and you see a lot of guys just trying to get out of the way because he knows these guys are a lot faster. Going to be a little bit of a scrambling of the jets, so to speak. Scramble the trucks around, and hopefully you make it on the other side.
Here they come to put another lap on the board.
Oh, trouble!
Oh, we got trouble. I don't know who it is, but we got a
That is
caution.
the one truck, I believe.
The one of Kyle McCall. Where's the purple?
The one truck of Kyle.
Let's see here. Yeah, he's in the middle, 3 wide there. Oh, maybe a little bit of net code there with the 14.
Go back and
Maybe
take a
some
look
contact.
I think he was trying to pass him too to get in front.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't clear. And that's one of those things too, Mike. I mean, you know this here at Daytona, in the middle lane sometimes, I don't know what it is with the air or the draft, but sometimes it just kind of sucks you down.
Yeah.
It does, yes.
And you see that as a prime example there with the one, and there's contact, and there's your yellow.
And he's got significant damage on that left side. As long as I feel like you don't get it in the nose or the rear, you're probably still going to be fine, but you know, that just looked like it just got sucked into Joey's car and just spun him around.
Yeah, spun him around there, and you can take a little bit of side damage here, but the one thing you want to pay attention to is the fenders and the hood area. Looks like the one has a little bit of a crinkle on the left front where the hood connects to the fenders, so hopefully that's just an easy repair under yellow, and we'll be all set to go moving forward.
Yeah,
But
at least hoping.
Forget those green flag stops, AJ. We're going to have caution flag stops again.
Which probably doesn't make a lot of people happy if they were just lapped because they pit just a couple laps ago.
Yeah, so you're going to have that lucky dog, and then you will have those waiver rounds, and they're not going to be happy because they have to take the waiver round.
Well,
they don't get to pit afterwards. So
if anything, I feel like the 2 of Mike Kelly is going to catch back up to the field and everything because he did pit and he's on the lead lap. If he does anything, I would say come in and top off, or this could be where he jumps a lot of cars and takes the lead.
well, yeah, it's going to pay big dividends for Mike Kelly, Steve Ritter, and Scott Simley. Those guys, like you said, they just pitted. They're not going to pit again, I don't think.
Well, here they come.
Maybe they do. Okay. I was going to say, if they wanted to, they could easily flip that track position around, but you still have to pit one more time to the end. They're not good to go, so you might as well just come on in here, top it off with fuel, and be on your happy way.
Well, I think what happened was they didn't take tires when we were green. So now I think they're just coming back down, grabbing 4 sets, topping off, and now they're on the exact same strategy as everybody else.
Yep. Not a whole lot of change here with the stops. Looks like Justin's going to go in first and come out first. Same with Tyler Dalton here. He's got a little bit of front end damage to that truck. Looks like he's been doing a lot of pushing. So that'll be something he'll have to manage here from here on out to the end of this race.
Well, let's see if we can talk to our race leader, Justin Fuller. Hey, Justin, it's AJ, Gary, and Mike in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, pal?
Yeah, we got you.
Hey, man, how's the truck feel? And you guys are like a rocket ship when you're in that middle lane, just holding it there. How's it feel?
It feels pretty good. It's pretty stable. A little touchy, but not too bad. Just typical super speeder racing, you know?
Yeah, it looks like you guys are having fun. You know, you're making a lot of friends if you haven't had them already. With how fast you could push people and how fast you could hold that pretty line. You know, without giving us the state secrets here, what's the plan for the rest of the race now that we're halfway through?
There really is no plan. Just take the runs as we get them, try and stay up front. Depending on how the feel is in the front of the pack here, I might dive off and go to the back and ride around a little bit. We'll see. We still got one more pit stop, regardless of green or yellow, so yeah, we'll just see what happens.
All right, brother. Well, good luck the rest of the way. You're Aftermath Motorsports, correct?
Yeah, I'll move myself.
Oh, okay.
guys got all the talent. They can drive and move themselves.
Yeah, no kidding.
Multitasking.
That
Sorry about
was
disconnecting. You know, Discord likes to do a thing where you're looking at something too long, it likes to crash on you.
that was last season's champion and current leader here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. It's the TranService Truck Series. So far, so good, guys. I'm very happy with what we're seeing, which I feel like is just going to make me want next Wednesday even more.
Yeah, and you know, Justin, he did win the regular season finale here last year, so he has won here. But Trey is that defending winner from last season's winner. So,
oh, okay.
So he knows how to get around Daytona, to say the least.
Well, pace car is about to take that left-handed turn down pit road. I like to say for safety, because we're about to hit the loud pedal and get going again halfway through this beast.
Pick the high line here for this restart.
I think that has everything to do with who's right behind him. That's Tommy Ryan.
I have to agree.
And
Barney throwing the flag.
Or he was going to have some restart games with the 7.
Yeah, and honestly, when you're the leader, it really does pay dividends when you start that outside. At the start finish line, you can kind of come down, and if that line isn't moving the best, you can always have that option to come back up for the corner, which is what he's doing here. He's getting a big push from Tommy. But seems like everybody's pretty even Steven right now, as the middle lane is not that organized because the outside lane. Here comes the 99 of Tommy Ryan to the inside.
Oh, and EJ O'Rourke to the outside.
He's got EJ, and he's got his friend there, Kevin D. Brown, up in that 93 Ford. Three wide here at the line.
That's got to be stressful. I can just imagine myself with just white-knuckling the whole thing.
Yeah, being on that outside line can be intimidating, but you also got to know where everybody's at. One thing that I've always been afraid of, especially at Daytona like this, where there are guys in the middle, is like too close to that wall because that could be a day ender for everybody. That could cause a big one too.
There you go, Bob. Looking for Richard Beasley. Sitting right there in the 20th position. Started 36th. Well, guys, for the first time on All-Star 15 TV and the first time this season for the Sim500 TranService Truck Series, let's crank it up. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed Crank It Up. That was great. We had shots of everybody in the same spot going 190 miles an hour. But we're back. I want to thank our sponsors, the Drinking Bros Auto Racing Facebook page, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Wrestling Over Everything, TranService Truck Series, and Falcon Grafix. Appreciate all the support that those wonderful companies and Facebook groups give us. Susan Ritchie is looking for the 75 of Stony Benfield. Let's take a look.
He's running around in that 30th position, tail end of this draft, so
20
still
moves
plenty
up to
of time.
25th.
27th, 25th, yeah. Right around just in the back, biding his time. Still plenty of racing left. A little bit of damage, so I think he's just kind of relying on that attrition battle at this point.
Which I think is probably the smartest move to do. We've already had 2 cautions for incidents. We've already knocked out 5 or 6 drivers of real contention. They still might be running.
Still 34 trucks on the lead lap, though, regardless, and they're all in this pack.
Yeah, no kidding.
About a lap ago, guys, Justin Fuller made contact with the number 30 of Macklin going into the trial bull, and that almost caused a huge pileup.
That also sent Macklin back to 11th.
Sure did.
Now, you see this gigantic pack. Now, unfortunately, with the gigantic pack, you're also going to be missing a couple people. And you got the 77 of Robert Fury, all by himself as he's crossing the line there. Right in front of him, I'm trying to figure out who that is in that nice... Oh, it's Brian Wortman in the 74. They're helping nothing right now. They are getting caught by 4 seconds a lap, the 2 of them.
Yeah, that just goes to show when you are out of the draft, you are basically worthless. The speed differential between the pack versus running all by yourself, it is not a good place to be.
And you hate to say it like that, but you basically are.
Yeah, and that's just a product of this racing, right? I mean, you have to rely on the draft and the pack to make any kind of speed. I mean, you're kind of helpless at that point, and you're just kind of leaving the odds to, be ever in your favor, like the Hunger Games out here, as we see the 93 taking, thought he was going to take a couple friends with him.
Yeah, he's got EJ.
He's got EJ there with him in the outside lane. 3x3, what is this, Indy 500?
You say that, and we're just days away from that.
I know it. Probably like that reference, sir.
I know you probably got to be excited.
Oh, absolutely. Memorial Day weekend. Can't think of a better place to be other than Charlotte.
The Brown's going to cut down to the middle.
Yeah, he's going to have Fuller pushing him there. Really good pusher.
Kelly.
Poor EJ tonight, man. He's been left so many times. He's the guy pushing everybody toward the front, and then he gets left hanging out to dry.
Well, you said it. I was thinking it. He's been such a great pusher in that 41 truck. He's pushed everybody to the front, and then they leave him.
Every time. Every time.
Somebody's going to need to buy him dinner after this race.
Absolutely.
I think multiple people should.
Yeah. I mean, he's a former pole sitter here, so he is fast around Daytona. Won the pole here in the playoff opener in 2021, so he's definitely got some speed to him.
And we are grouped all the way, I'd say, back to
Andy
17.
won the race too. Not only
From first to 22nd, we are basically side by side.
And a second and a half from first to 22nd. It's incredible.
as you see the 74 of Brian Wertman say, "I'm going to get out of your way."
Yeah, he's gonna dip down to the apron. And Brian is a really smart driver. I mean, he does have some real NASCAR experience, working on crews and that kind of thing. So he knows what he's doing behind the wheel. Just knows when to dip down for cover and just let the pack go.
You also don't want to get the nickname LePage, so...
Yeah, you don't want to do that either. You don't want to be like Kevin LePage and wrecking half the field, so...
But looking through this top 10, you have DeBrown, Tommy Ryan, Justin Fuller in third, Doug Roth, Trey Edison fourth and fifth. Sixth, it's Macklin, Dalton in seventh. Eighth, it's O'Rourke Cully in ninth, and Mike Kelly rounding out your top 10 on how they run. Biggest movers so far of the race, it's Doug Roth up 30 from 31st to 3rd, 28 positions.
Yeah, about to be 31st to 2nd as he's giving Fuller the push of his life.
I think that 43, when he was pulling to that outside and gaining a position, getting back in line, pulling back to the outside, was showing everybody, come with me. I know how to get towards the front, and you see nobody cutting to his outside.
No, and he knows exactly where to go. He has run a very smart race up to this point. I mean, look at the car number he's got, or the truck number rather, 43. You know how many times Richard Petty has won here at Daytona? I mean, he might be taking some shades of Richard Petty here. Taking maybe a page or two out of his playbook. Staying up in the front and just running a smart race and being there right at the end when it matters.
I mean, could I have a couple of those pages? I just want to read them. You can have them back. I just want to read them. See the 7
going all night with a little bit of side draft on the third lane. So.
But you see how close Justin Fuller is going to get to that inside lane. That's going to suck him back just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we are getting to this point in the race, gentlemen. We are right there in that fuel window, about 30 to 35 laps where these guys can make it to the end. So, wouldn't be fully shocked if we see them try to run it fully out of gas, or at least close to it, just so they get a gas and go for the end. But definitely something to keep in mind as we are getting close to that fuel window.
Yeah, my strategy hat would be saying go to about 75. That way, if we get a couple green-white checkers, you might be okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think what you're going to see here, depending on when these guys pit, they will have to keep that green-white checkered in mind, because in our 9-race history here, we have had 2 overtime attempts. So
still batting pretty good to finish in regulation.
Yeah, absolutely. But definitely something you always want to do.
Mike, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of pushing, especially in the front half of this field. A lot of these guys get more and more aggressive with their bump drafts and pushing, and I've seen a couple guys get out of shape recently.
As the 51 right there did too.
Yeah, that's what but I mean, you're at the time of the race now where you're going to see more and more of this.
More and more aggression, more and more emotion. It's Daytona. You want to win here. And whether it's real life or virtual or whatever, I mean, you want to
it's real to me.
That win here.
And a lot of what's going on these last couple laps, you see people, setting themselves up around, certain drivers. I think Roth in the 43 comfortable right behind the 51 of Fuller. You have the 93 of DeBrown. He's comfortable being pushed by Tommy Ryan. Everybody is liking the bubble they're in. That's all going to change in a couple laps when pit stops happen.
Yeah, so they pitted around lap 50-ish, so not quite. We're still about 10 laps away from those pit stops, but if anybody wanted to take it, it is there for the taking. You can make it to the end now. And that's the thing, Mike, too. Once you want to pit, you got to make sure you have at least a few people with you, because the last thing you want to do is pit by yourself here at Daytona.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then especially this late in the race, if you somehow find yourself either A, pitting by yourself, or you're losing the pack coming off the road, so you have a bad stop, the rest of your race is ruined unless you
We're
get
on
the pole.
board with O'Rourke. Look how pretty of a wheel he is holding. It ain't moving very much.
He's doing a great job holding that steady wheel and making sure, you know, if he does get an opportunity to push that 41 or that 30 rather, he's going to be able to do so, because you want to be able to make sure that you match the bumpers here. They're pretty even, but you want to make sure that you hit them square, because if you hit them off sequence, it's going to spin them.
Pretty good feel in this truck. I can just ride and take it easy until I really get a good feel in this truck. I can just ride and take it easy until I really need to get it toward the end.
We're with Glenn Campbell right now, and he just popped the apron just a tad. And you really saw a saw on the wheel there for a second.
Yeah, you want to make sure you avoid that apron as best you can, because last thing you want to do is mess up yourself and ruin your chances and collect other people. That's the last thing you want to do, especially here.
Yeah, I got really nervous seeing Campbell pop that apron, because all I did was think he was going to go right up the racetrack or get rear-ended from behind. Hi, Gary. Thanks for liking the stream, pal.
Yeah, no problem. Got to do this earlier.
You know, Gary, there's also that transition that we talk about in the triangle here at Daytona and Talladega too. That's that weird transition that sometimes can even cause a wreck too, if you're on that inside line. If you just clip that transition between the apron and the track.
Yep.
Hey, P1, 43, Doug Roth.
Is anybody surprised?
Not at all. Not at all whatsoever. That, I think, has been the best truck on the racetrack.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely one of the best trucks all night. He's right up there with Justin, right up there with Trey and Kevin. You've seen it. I mean, even Tommy Ryan at points, Tyler Dalton at points. You know, I mean, everybody's been up here, and I mean, those are the same, 5-6 guys we've been talking about.
Yeah, let's see how they're going to get around this 77.
They're going to go to the high side. He was telling everybody to get up and tell that lap truck to stay down.
It's not that we don't trust you. It's, 100% that we don't trust you.
Well, and here's the way I look at it with lap cars. As long as you're being predictable with your line, the leader should know where to go.
Yeah. But that completely messed up that inside lane.
Yeah, it did temporarily, but I mean, it's that rubber band effect, right? We just stretched out the rubber band a little bit. Now we're kind of bringing it back together and kind of seeing where everybody's going to be after that. So.
Well, we got a new leader, Macklin, P1.
And he was in the outside wall just a few laps ago, and here he is in the lead.
Oh, little squirrely coming off of turn 4, heading towards the tri-oval. Roth in the 43, very smart for letting him correct it. A lot of intense moments these last couple of laps, because as you mentioned, he was in the wall just about a lap and a half ago and sitting P1.
And you can, that's probably about the only place where you can get away with doing that here. You can hit the wall one lap and be up in the lead the next.
There's hitting the wall and there's, tapping the wall. And he's got, looks like some left rear damage. Do you see that right?
A little bit here. I mean, it's not the worst. I mean, the spoiler's still even all the way across, and that's what you want. If you do have a little bit of rear end damage, you want to make sure that spoiler's staying even, because that reduces all the We're getting right down to the brown part here with 24 laps to go here, Mike.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, the 43 Roth and the 51 Ford, those two, when they've been hooked up this second half of this race, they're very, very good tandem drafters together. They really know how to
very good
draft.
tandem drafters, and I think these guys are going to be the cars to beat if they can time their stuff out right here for these last few laps.
Yeah, we're going to see that outside lane completely deteriorate in one way or another really soon because pit stops have to be coming.
Yeah, these guys can't make it to the end. We've documented that, and Fuller has even said, you know, they can't make it to the end during our last interview with them around halfway. So these guys are going to have to pit. It's just a matter of when they come and how much fuel they take.
Which I want to say thank you.
Oh.
Thank you again to Justin Fuller for giving us a couple seconds of his time while we were under caution.
It's not often people drivers, but when they do and they're willing to give us their time and talk with us a little bit, it does. I know it means a lot to the viewers at home, especially if they got people watching. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Jeffrey Goodpaster. Hey, I know that name.
I know that name. I know Jeff Goodpaster. What's up, bud? He's probably bored. I'm just kidding. I'm glad he likes it. Helps the channel.
It very much does, believe me. Liking, following, subscribing. You'd be surprised how much it actually helps the channel. And also,
we got 74 going down to the apron once again, getting out of the way.
Also moves us the pecking order for if we get a lot of people watching. We'll get put onto the front pages of Facebook Gaming or YouTube, like a YouTube front page or something.
Absolutely. The reason why I went whoa there for a second is because I saw that 99 get a little bit loose there, but you know, he's still going, still pushing.
Looks like we're gonna have a lot of guys starting to pit here in the next few laps. I've seen a lot of guys abandon that outside line and start getting right to the bottom.
Yeah, again, they pitted around lap 50, so this is about right around the time where you're going to be wanting to make a pit stop here in these next 3 to 5 laps. It's getting right down to that time.
And if you have
Look
a
at the
pit
51,
road,
he's going to leave the 43 hanging. He said bye-bye. Here comes
and the 7. Wow.
He said bye-bye to that.
He said bye-bye.
and if you have a pit road mistake at this late in the race, guys, you're basically toast without a yellow.
See, I'd be worried about entry. I am fine hitting my box and leaving pit road. It's always entry that bugs me, especially when you're at speed. Because these cars/trucks are so easy to lock up those tires and lose control. It's going to be very fun to watch these trucks get down to pit road speed while in a group.
Here's a real analogy for you. It's like you're going from the interstate to the drive-thru window at your McDonald's. That's what it's like going off here at 180, 185 miles an hour, and you got to get down to 60 miles an hour. It's it can get pretty hairy.
Oh, 41 really loose.
Oh, that was a save.
O'Rourke saving that truck.
It may not look like much, but I tell you what, guys, he was swatting bees in that truck there for just there. Just a second there.
I think I heard a couple expletives.
Gary, you used that McDonald's reference because of me.
No, that was just
Food.
Yeah, we're making AJ hungry.
Yeah, I haven't had an appetite for days now.
Yeah. 41's kind of dipping below that yellow line. I don't know if he's trying to say, hey, I'm going to pass you, or...
Well, I know for me, sometimes I'll, like, go down on the backstretch like that, and that would just show me coming to pit road.
41, 7, everybody. 51, everybody coming down pit road.
Just send it, bub.
Oh, good job. They all made it.
Look at that.
Nice.
And Mike gets
first
down
one in
in.
the
He's
box.
the first one in. I think it's just going to be a gas and go for a lot of these guys. We only got a handful of laps to go.
Some of them are taking tires. Mike Kelly being one of them.
You might take right sides here, but it's all gas and goes pretty much for the rest of the field here, I would imagine.
And look at this group right now flying down the Daytona super stretch.
Look at that 6 truck of Mike Montesi. Haven't talked about him much, but here he is, leading that outside lane, currently in that second position.
You got any more
this time?
takers?
We got a lot of takers this time. 43, 40. A lot of trucks here. And looks like everybody's gonna like it.
Very well choreographed. You know, going to the inside, I'm staying in the middle, and staying to the outside.
Nobody ran over anybody. It was a good pit
Ooh,
stop.
91 goes through the box. That's
Yeah.
Wesley Donaldson.
And that'll happen. Unfortunately.
Montesi in the 6 right now, your race leader.
Getting a little bit of TV time, getting a lap lag. As we see the 10 go around him here with a 38. I don't think that's for position, though. Could be wrong.
No, that's for position.
Oh, it is for position. Okay.
Those are all for positions, and I love that 10 car. Richard
Usually I'll throw
Beasley.
back to Ricky Rudd. More pit stops. Everybody's
Not everybody.
6, 11. Most of the rest of that front pack, anyway. I think we're down here to the last
6 cars.
ish trucks that haven't pitted yet, so it'll be a matter of when they come in. And again, what they wanted to do is they wanted to make that last pit stop, last 15, 16 laps, as short as possible. Get you to the end on the fuels. Maybe put in for a green, white, checkered. But that's going to be it for them, and they should be sitting pretty good here.
They should have a little bit of track position too.
If they time the pit stops right. The key is no mistakes here as you come here from 180-ish miles an hour down to that 60 miles an hour. Don't want to get caught speeding.
And here they come, right down to pit road, and that 10 just launched it off of turn 4.
Sure did.
Oh, the 38, really fast.
And I think that 10, he made it barely, but he made it to pit speed.
I'm curious about the 38 of Coleman, because he was hauling the mail still.
And that 10, gas and go, 58, same deal.
Yeah, here comes the 38 too, so no penalty on there. Wow.
At least that we know of.
I thought doesn't it hold you?
It does.
Oh, so it's always fun.
Sometimes they might make you come back around for a pit stop too and hold you. Well, looks like everybody's good to go. No black flags appearing right now, so looks like a good clean stop here. 10's going to want to get up to speed as quickly as he can. 2 and 3 wide here. He's going to try and catch this back of the pack here, I believe, with that 12 truck.
He's going to need help.
He's going to need a lot of help. It's going to be crazy here. That last group that pitted was not very well organized with what they were doing as far as fuel and tires.
I will say, I thought he got a black flag coming in, but coming out, pretty good. He's going to hold on to the back of this front pack.
Yeah, he's going to be 11th here, so he's doing pretty good. Richard Beasley, very nice job. Right there with Kevin D. Brown and the 58 there of Pedro Mojica. I don't know. I'm sorry. I probably butchered that, Pedro. I apologize. Look at our friends though. Doug Roth, right there with Wesley Donaldson. This pack here, they're starting to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do. 3 seconds can be done. It's going to take a little time though, and everybody's going to be on the same page. Nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail.
For the most part,
Stay in line together.
that's the tricky part. Is you get down to the end of this.
This is not a time to battle.
Even though we are in the time to battle.
Well,
you got
if they
13
want to
laps
get back
go.
up, if they want to get back up towards the front, no
yeah.
battling.
Absolutely.
Well, Wesley Donaldson, haven't talked about him a lot, but with that pit stop, puts him in a really good spot.
Yeah, they're already caught up to the back end of this pack here, so if I were him, I would just, wherever that 43 goes, I'd stick with
Cue that Independence Day. Hello, boys, remember me?
That's right.
Now we're going to go 3 wide for the lead off turn 2.
Sure are. Here it is, 7 truck of Trey Eidson. Going to be able to take that lead. Getting a big push from that 99. 30 and the 51 working together really well. The 41's getting a push from the 2. Tight racing here. 3 wide going through turn 4.
Yeah, Mike Kelly really showing the power of that number 2 TranService truck.
And these guys all 3 wide. This is what we used to see back in the day at Daytona when they took the plates off these trucks. 3 wide finishes almost seemed like the first several years of the Truck Series here at Daytona. Now we're back to 3 wide racing.
Mike Kelly just disappeared there for
Oh, what a save!
They wrecked it.
No, they. Oh, now they wrecked it.
Now they wrecked it. I believe that was a 10 truck involved there. No caution yet. Caution is not
my
waiting. It's still
goodness.
green.
Multiple
Big
trucks.
crash here at the exit of turn number 2 and no caution.
I'm trying to figure out how we're still green.
Away from the main pack, I guess, and all on the apron, I guess.
That just ruined a bunch of people's day right there.
Ruined
Yeah,
a
my
lot
pick
of
Tyler
people's night.
Dalton.
Take away their track position. Tyler Dalton. I keep calling him Taylor for some reason.
Here it is. Take a look.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying they had to stop to about 30 or 40 miles an hour. Here's the big wreck. Look at some of these trucks. They had to go to basically a complete stop to get through the wreck and no caution.
Well, everybody's going again. Wow.
These guys are getting really aggressive. 10 laps of racing to go. Coming to 9 this time. This is the time you got to get aggressive, though. Here comes EJ here. Looked like he was trying to peak.
Oh, this lap truck right in front of them hit the apron and about slid up right in front of them. Got me nervous for a second.
Just a wee bit.
Just
Here
a
comes the
tad.
51 again to the outside. He's going to have the 41 with him. He's going to push that 41.
Both the drivers working great together all night.
Oh, there
And
he goes.
wow.
To the bottom. What a pass.
Hits the elevator and goes top to bottom. P1 onward.
That was awesome. Great
What
move
a
right
move.
there.
You would see that in real life. Nice pass. Well done. Kind of checked up that bottom lane a little bit, but I think they'll get some momentum back.
As long as nobody gets in front of the 41, I think that's going to work out because that inside lane should be a little bit faster being put together like they are.
Yeah, look at this 30 truck, though. He's getting a good run from the draft of both these trucks. Being in the middle, I think he's going to lead that lap.
Ooh, full loose on the outside.
Yeah, he sure did. It's right there. Is able to save that truck. 30 going down to the bottom with the elevator. Not quite bottom to top, but at least middle floor to bottom floor. There you go.
I think 30 and 41 made a little bit of contact when you made that move, too.
Probably. If it was lap 99, I guarantee you he wouldn't have made it through that corner. Oh, he's still getting a push there from the 41. I don't think he's too happy with that move.
Stay tuned to after the
racing.
race.
Look at that 43. That's going to be a guy to watch here in these last 7 laps.
Stay tuned after the race. We're going to talk to our podium finishers here tonight. Mike, take it away.
I was just going to say, I was waiting for Fuller to jump up there in front of that.
More lap trucks here from that incident earlier that didn't bring out the yellow.
So, Gary, a little help with Pedro's last name. It's Mojica.
Mojica. Thank you. Never would have guessed.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you, pal.
Boys, this is intense right here.
Yeah.
30 giving a big push. Getting a big push from 41. 99 pushing the 7. These guys are all over each other here.
Is it safe to say we're white-knuckling it yet?
I would say so, especially if you're a truck leading, because you got to hold a pretty wheel and basically let the guy behind you do the driving for the most part, because you might get your rear wheels up off the ground.
Well, Fuller and Roth are connected now on that outside line. Now Fuller just dropped to the middle. That's the 2 guys I'm watching for here.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch that 51 and that 43. They were working so well together, you would think. Late in this race, they might hook back up for another run at it. 93 is going to go with them, too. 93 was working with them guys well earlier as well. He's out all by himself. Not going to quite work out for him. He's going to fall back to the back and have to regroup. 5 to go at the line.
out of turn 4. Heading back towards the line. No real third lane. As Macklin right now in that 30 holding serve up front.
Oh, we got a little bit of an awkward push there, I thought. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
I thought so too.
And like Mike was saying, telling us earlier, these pushes are going to be a lot more aggressive as we get down to 5 to go and 4.5 to go now. And man, it's about to get even more intense here.
I'm just waiting for someone to use that third line. We're just content right now to be 2x2, and I'm like, I think they're just waiting for those last 2 laps until they get that third
That's
line.
what I'm thinking. They're probably going to make that move about lap 98, 99 is when they're going to try and make that work. And honestly, in these last couple laps, I'd rather be on the outside because it's a lot easier to block than being on the inside lane. Here comes the 30. He's going to get stuck in the middle with nobody.
EJ O'Rourke is going to use that lapped car as a pick to cut down, and O'Rourke P2. Looking for P1.
He's got 30 who was able to make that work. Stay in the middle lane. He got a little bit of help.
Here comes
43
Fuller.
and 51
Fuller's coming on the third lane.
by themselves. Here they come. They've got 3 trucks there now. That 91, like I said, he was sticking to the back of the 43. Knows he's been fast.
3 by 3 by 3.
Oh wait, that's 2 by 2.
Coming to 3 to go, boys.
3 to go this time. Looks like the start of the Indianapolis 500. Three wide they are, and it's real tight for 3 wide too.
You know what's really gonna mess with this front pack is when they catch those lap cars right in front of them.
Yeah,
Especially if they don't pull over.
yeah, they're gonna have to get on game at this point. Otherwise, it might spell disaster for a few folks.
Edson right now, your front runner. O'Rourke trying to get the run. Not going to have it here. Outside lane. It's Fuller right now, P1.
Fuller
Back to
right now,
Edson.
P1. Back to Edson.
Contact!
No contact there.
Here we go, the big wreck.
Caution is out. And that is going to bring us to overtime.
No, that wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. It was only about 3 trucks right there.
Well, when all the fields spread out, you know. They're saying they might be calling it a little bit of netco, which I think that might have been the case there, AJ. We'll have to take a look at that replay.
Yes, let's take a look at it. Back it up just a little bit further. I think this
Oh,
starts
it might be
on the front row.
7.
Yeah, that looked like a little bit.
A little bit of netco there. It looks like it just sent his wheels up in the air. And, I mean, when those front wheels don't have a whole lot of traction, you're just going to go straight, and that's exactly what happened to Fuller right there.
And that just took out a good chunk of cars.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy here. Now, as we're looking here, the last 2 winners, Eitzen and I think O'Rourke, he won in 2021, the playoff opener. A couple of the most previous drivers that have won here are taking our top 2 spots right now. And if Fuller is still in this pack, I mean, he's up here as well. And that truck looks halfway decent, that 51, so.
Appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight to All-Star 15 TV, whether it's Facebook or YouTube. Wow, that number 2 of Kelly truck is destroyed.
Yeah, he got the short end of the stick there.
You know, Gary and AJ, just to throw a quick little stat out here, we've only had 2 overtime attempts in 9 races previously, so now we were going to go 3 for 10 with this caution this late.
Well, if this was baseball, you'd be batting pretty good.
Yeah, 30%. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Noah, for liking the stream.
Yeah, thank you, Noah. Appreciate you, pal. Actually, thank everybody for tuning in. We were up to 25 people watching at one time. Makes me feel very nice, you know, the little butterflies, that I think we got something good on All-Star 15 TV brewing with this Wednesday night league, and then on Mondays, our other broadcast. But we'll be back next week for Auto Club. Gary's already got a full list of notes.
Week off next week. 2 weeks from now.
Yes, 2 weeks from now. Apologies. What is that, the 7th?
Hey.
The 8th?
Oh, no, June 7th. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was right. Thank you.
I can't count today.
Hey,
I'm on
I
vacation.
can't count any day, and so am I. But with how awesome of tonight's race has been, I can't wait for them to go to California at the Auto Club Speedway.
And you can use all the lanes there at California next week. And
Yeah,
there's 5 lanes there that you can use. So we might score the same.
You're taking the words right out of my mouth. You know, they're 3 wide now with some crazy runs. I'm just picturing the start of the race and any restarts we have after that, of them going from just a 2 wide to 3, 4, 5, and maybe even 6 if people want to really rim ride on the outside. It's going to be fun, and I'm going to have these 2 guys with me, Gary Wells and Mike Capigio. I'm AJ Capola. Thank you for tuning in. 3 laps to go, and Gary, this is our first attempt, correct?
Yep, first of 2 attempts. We only get 2 shots at this deal to get a green flag finish. Anybody that got damage that stayed out under this yellow from that last wreck, you got what you got. Good luck.
What is it? Race what you brung?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
You're gonna see absolute chaos in these last 2 laps here.
Man, I thought I heard chaos enough on Monday night, and you're gonna say it now?
2 times the charm, AJ. 2 times.
Hey,
the charm.
you know, when you have TJ in the booth, that's what you signed up for.
And I love having TJ in the booth. Love it.
If I could pick a word for TJ out of the dictionary, I think chaos would be his favorite word.
I'd be curious on what the picture would be.
Looks like we have some guys saving
Wreck?
some fuel on the bottom here on these yellow laps. Looks like
93 might be trying to save some fuels, maybe. And that is legal. I mean, you can do that. There's not a rule against it. So
As long as you don't kill
long as you
the
maintain your-
engine and...
gotta maintain your pace. Pace car's in. Let's see it here, AJ.
Ding, ding, ding. First green-white checkered attempt is a go. They hit the loud pedal, no spinning of the tires.
Oh, pushes from everywhere. That 99 was crazy loose there. I don't know if he was
that
gonna,
99 was squirrely.
I don't know if he got a big bump from
Oh,
that.
what a save right there.
107, nice save.
That outside
Really
line just
gonna
got
watch
killed.
this. Yeah, that cost that outside line a lot of momentum.
Oh, look at the
Here comes
93.
99. Taking that outside lane. Oh, big.
Uh-oh.
Crash, don't wreck.
It's
Oh, big
my
wreck.
goodness.
What a wreck.
Flipping.
That 7 is upside down. That is not
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not good.
There's the big one, boys. That is what
Oh,
we're afraid of.
Ricky Bobby.
Wow.
What a flip there from that 7. Took a wild ride.
What car was that?
That was the 7 of Trey Eidson. One of
7
our former winners. He was the one that caused that wreck. I mean, 2 laps to go at Daytona. What do you expect?
Well, if anybody's viewing it in the race in VR, have fun.
Watch the ride this 7 truck takes. Bam! Right into the catch fence. Sky ground. More sky, more ground. Lands it on all 4s.
You're gonna want to pull up Justin Fuller's on board too, because he got wedged in the wall and just flipped backwards.
Yeah, he had a pretty wild ride himself, that 51 truck. Former champ, defending champ of the series. And you know, Mike, we don't talk about this a whole lot, but when you're in a pack like this, you can't really see what's in front of you until you're in it.
Exactly.
With the
What
spoiler
position do you have
light and all the
Flares?
safety pictures, you can't really see what's ahead of you.
Oh,
and
God.
He saw Jesus.
And I think that engine blew mid flip too.
Sure did. Sure did. He's not going to be able to go anywhere. And I think that same thing happened to Eidson as well. So, needless to say, I think they are both out.
Well, there were a couple drivers that I did not have on my bingo card to win the race tonight.
Glenn Campbell and Wesley Donaldson. And anybody on anybody's bingo card here? Anybody?
I think anybody in the top 5.
Right. Well, I mean, Chad's pretty good here. Chad has won a race here at Daytona back in 2018.
And he's back in 11th.
Yeah. Chad Coleman? No?
Yes, I'm saying he's in 11th.
Oh, I'm showing that he's in 4th. Maybe not. Okay. All my scoring's all messed up. I'll trust you. But yeah, that's the only one that I could see in the top 10. Maybe.
Well, this will be it.
Yeah,
This
is it right here. Yeah, he's the only one in the top 11.
Is that the 41 still out there smoking?
Yeah, he's.
Yeah,
I think he's staying out as long as possible. Because he's playing the long game for the season, pass as many cars as possible, even though he can't win the race.
Well, he's got that meatball flag. If he don't come in and serve it, he's going to get a penalty anyway. So
I think Keselowski did that about 5 or 10 years ago at Talladega by just passing everybody on pit road that was in that wreck and just parking it at the end of pit road.
Yep. We've also seen Paul Menard do that at Indianapolis in 2017, where they had wrecks upon wrecks, and they hit the overtime line at Indianapolis, and he passed a lot of cars that were in the wreck and finished the race.
And here comes the 41. That's upsetting for him.
Wesley Johnson just pitted from 2nd spot.
Maybe he's out of fuel.
Oh, that would be a heartbreaker.
Yep.
Well, he's got a lot of damage on that 81 too, or 91 as well.
Yep.
But Glenn Campbell in the 44, lights are out on the iRacing pace car.
Look at Chris Galla being up here in the top 3.
In a truck that looks clean.
Yeah, pretty clean. Not bad for a guy that doesn't get to drive very often. Looking pretty good. That's all. That's the only positivity I'm going to say about your Scala. I don't want to jinx you. Give you that old broadcaster jinx. Looks like he's going to be starting on the outside of row 1 for this restart. To my knowledge, he has not won a race in this league at all. I think this is his first season driving, so he's going to be going for his first win at Daytona of all places.
Well, taking a look at the 44 of Campbell, he's got some right rear, a lot of right rear damage. Even the wing is caved in a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't. At this point, I mean, we're kind of nitpicking. I mean, at this point, you just want to be able to be up front and stay up front. We only got a couple laps left in this thing. It looks like a few of these trucks have been to Bristol.
Well,
so.
next flag basically ends the race, whether we get to the white or not.
Yep, whether we get to the white or see the yellow.
Here we go. Green flag is in the air. Next flag ends it.
Yeah, look, that inside line had a big run there to start. A lot more organized.
Yeah, Chris has no help in that outside line.
Oh, Chris has got no help there whatsoever. He's going to try and side draft that 15 to see what he can get. But he's got that 96 right behind that 15. That's going to help him a lot more. He's going to be side drafting like crazy. He's going to try and block the
he's going to pin.
Wow, he blocked him.
Rather. Puts him up into the fence. Here comes the 93. He's going to try and give him a push.
Oh, right. That's
that's
right
the
there.
end of it.
Big
looks
wreck
like Campbell's
again.
going to get the win here.
That's the
Glenn
rest
Campbell
of the field.
to keep his pace.
Wow.
He is going to win at Daytona.
They are still wrecking in 3 and 4. That was the rest of the field, boys.
That was a big wreck there to end this race. Pace car's going to pick the field up here, probably at the exit of turn number 2.
There's the white flag. We're going to take a quick look back at that caution, what brought it out. Jump to the far chase cam.
Yeah, Chris Scala trying to do all the side drafting he could. He had the 93 behind him, trying to give him a push, and that push just sent him sideways. And I was pulling for you, Chris, for like 2 seconds, and you get wrecked.
That was the broadcaster curse right there.
That's what that was. That's exactly right. Well, none of our guys that picked won the race, so there you go.
No, you are right with that.
I don't think any of them finished in the top 10.
Well, we are on that white flag, so it is the Wrestling Over Everything white flag. And behind the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car, the driver, the number 44, Glenn Campbell, is going to win here at Daytona.
Glenn Campbell, Gerald Livingston, Josh Coley, your top 3 here tonight.
That was a great job on all 3 of those guys' part.
Well, Gerald Livingston up 40 spots.
Up 40 spots,
positions.
40 second. Wow. And that is our biggest mover.
That's why Daytona's special.
When you come to Daytona, you just hope for a top 10, maybe even a win. Well, Gerald came close.
Let's see if we can get a word with our race winner. Glenn Campbell, AJ, Gary, and Mike in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, pal?
I got you.
Well, weren't there for the majority of the race, and then you just shoot right up and I win. It's over. I win. How'd the truck feel? How'd you do it? How'd you miss all the chaos?
Truck felt great. They're telling me to stop before stop finish line. Something about the pace car. We ended under yellow there. Hey, I was more luck than anything. Just staying out of trouble as best as I could, and ended up. Wow, lo and behold, I think people ran out of fuel. And I was lucky enough to put enough fuel in that last stop. That got me to the end.
Yeah, dude. Well, Gary, you got anything for our race winner?
Man, I mean, congratulations, you survived. Started P9, finishing first in the race here. What are your thoughts about California 2 weeks from now when we go to Auto Club Speedway?
They were talking to my ear, guys. Listen, I really appreciate it. Don't win very often over here. It's difficult to win here at Sim Racing. Sim500. You guys, I appreciate them putting on a nice show. I thought it was a good show for the fans.
It was a very good show, pal. Hopefully we'll see you in 2 weeks at California, Glenn. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, let's see about P2, Gerald Livingston. See if I could find him. Let's see. Currently don't see him in the Discord. Unless I'm just blind. But Mike, what are your thoughts of the race tonight?
I thought that was an outstanding race tonight to kick off the season here at Daytona. We saw the best of Daytona, outstanding racing, 2 and 3 wide, side drafting. You know, that's what we all come to see. It's just great racing like that. And then you get to the finish and the aggression level picks up and you see the wrecks. But overall, fantastic show. Very impressed with all these drivers and great job by Glenn Campbell getting that win tonight too.
Gary, what are your thoughts, pal?
Last 10 laps came down to survival, and I think we were talking about that all night pretty much. Can you get to those last few laps and make the moves as you need to and survive the chaos? And Glenn was able to do that, so congratulations to him on his win here at Daytona. And next week, I think we're going to see more of the same here, a lot more side-by-side action. We're going to Auto Club, always a good track, always puts on great racing, so really looking forward to Auto Club here in a couple weeks on the 7th.
Yeah, we are really looking forward to Auto Club. If you thought this race was insane with them going 2 to 3 wide throughout the racetrack, you were in for a treat when we go to Auto Club in 2 weeks. But we're going to give it a couple, like a minute or two to see if we can get our second and third place in the Discord so we can interview them. But I thought tonight was a lot of fun, and unfortunately Daytona is Daytona, and with that you get some crazy runs, some crazy blocks, and a lot of wrecks. And we didn't even get the lot of wrecks.
Not until the end, and I mean that's just kind of the way it is at Daytona. Sometimes you try to put yourself in a good position, and then you try to make a couple blocks late in the race and hope they stick. And worked for some, didn't work out so much for others.
Well, I'm not seeing anybody joining us.
We had
in
49 lead changes tonight, by the way, guys. That's right up there with one of the records. So
That's a crazy.
And how many leaders?
Doesn't say in the UI, so we'll have to wait and see when the Sim Racer Hub stats update. But
okay,
49 lead changes. That's quite a bit.
That's called competition.
But
everybody, thank you for tuning in to All-Star 15 TV, whether it was Facebook or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button or hit the follow button. Thank our sponsors by going to check them out, whether it's in the description above you in Facebook or below you in YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Agent Coppola, Mike Campeggio, Gary Wells. We'll see you 2 weeks at Auto Club Speedway. For next week, remember why we're celebrating Memorial Day. It's for all the people that have lost their lives battling to keep what we do. And, you know, you see somebody, thank them. Because they've given up more than I think civilians, and I don't know, I'm choked up because I take this Memorial Day very, very rough for some of you that know. But we'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you out in Cali.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
From Mortar to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.